Hey everyone! So recently I did a photo shoot and it was just beauty, and we decided to specialise in doing a contour look. You will have seen a lot of people doing contour looks where they have stripes down the face of foundations, or like the Kim Kardashian look. I know a lot of people have seen where they put the banana colour across underneath the eyes and then the dark contour down the cheekbones, etc. So in order to make this look a little bit more interesting, I decided to do the contour as a crosshatch. So basically from this video you'll get an idea as to where you should apply your contour. This is a two-part video because this photo shoot consisted of two looks. So the next one will go on from this video and it will show you how to blend all your contour in. Right, so I've prepped Kate's face with some Porefessional, and now I'm just applying a foundation using a duo fibre brush. These brushes give a really great finish to the skin and give you a really flawless look. As always, blend it all over the face. You can use a nice stipple motion with this and then just work circular motions where you want it to blend a little bit more. Make sure you take it over the ears if the hair's up, and take it down the neck, across the eyelids, everywhere. I'm just applying Bourjois Healthy Mix Concealer in light, and I'm just putting that on with a synthetic concealer brush. You need to use a synthetic one so that it doesn't build up all in the brush and sort of become clumpy. And I'm just putting the concealer underneath the eyes, around the nose, and any sort of areas that need a little bit more coverage. I'm setting that all into place with a translucent powder by M&S. This is a really nice light powder. You also don't get flashback with it, and flashbacks when you have a picture taken and you're getting a lot of white patches. I'm just defining the eye for this look. I'm just using the black from my Louise Young palette, and I'm just going to define the eye by going along the top lash line. Get as close to the lash line as you possibly can, because you just really want to emphasise the lashes to make them look fuller, and then just go over them with a blending brush. If you have small eyelids, a tip when applying eyeshadow to the outer corner is to look straight ahead when you're applying it, so you can see that the colour is above the crease. Make sure when you're applying the colour that you're blending it out and then reapplying. It's about sandwiching the colours in order to make them last longer. With this particular look I'm doing it a little bit, working into it and then coming back and doing extra bits. Always curl your lashes to make the most of them, and then apply your mascara. One of my favourite mascaras to use is by Eyeko, and I always use it on a tooth comb mascara wand. I like to apply one coat, leave it to dry ever so slightly, and then apply another one. As I mentioned, I'm just defining the eye for this look, so I'm using a white kohl pencil across the waterline, and this will really open up the eyes. I'm enhancing the lower lash line by using a brown on an angled brush. I feel it's really important to reinforce the colours that are naturally on the face if you're going for a natural look, because photography light, it can be really strong and it will bleach out all those natural colours. So underneath that brown I'm applying Woodwinked by MAC. This is a nice kind of bronzy orange colour, and I'm just blending it out using a fluffy brush. And I'm also applying that to the outer V of the eye in a slightly winged out shape, and then again using a soft blending brush just to soften all the edges. As before, just use the same sandwiching technique, reapply and then reblend, and that way you'll get a nice opacity and it will stay on for hours. Concentrate on blending out those very outer edges so it really fades into nothing. I'm now using a pencil brush just to apply a darker brown right in that corner V. You'll realise when you do photography makeup that you really do need to keep applying and applying, because it can look, in the flesh it can look dark enough, but then when you have a picture taken you think, oh my god, there's no makeup there. So yeah, from previous experience I know that I need to keep applying, and I need to get to a certain stage with the makeup where I think, right, that's dark enough that it's going to appear quite natural on camera. I'm using a matte eyeshadow here just to contour down from the eye socket down the bridge of the nose. This is a little sort of trick that makes the whole face, you know, look more defined, so it thins the bridge of the nose, but coming from the eye socket it gives it another appearance. Now that the top coat of mascara is dry, I can apply it to the bottom, and again I use the same technique, using it on a tooth comb wand to really separate the lashes. Although this looks a really natural look, I still wanted to add a hint of an ombre brow. So to start with, I'm combing Kate's brows upwards, and then I'm using a medium shade brown from my Anastasia Brow Pro palette and applying this on an angled brush at the beginning of the brow, and then for an ombre brow you want to get it darker as it gets towards the ends. This can be as light or as intense as you want it to be. As I say, I'm only adding a hint of it. Because this is a contouring look, I'm going to add it to all features. Apply the colour using small brush strokes, and this will give tiny little hair marks as opposed to full on drawn fake looking brow. You want to apply the darkest shade at the last third of the brow, and you want that to come to a real nice sharp point. Be sure that the base of the brow is the most defined area, as this will give you a really nice shape. To colour the top half, I just use whatever's left on the brush, so it's not too intense and it doesn't look like it's been, you know, drawn. You want it to still look natural. To get a nice sharp point to the brow, I always use my little finger against the model's head to counterbalance my hand. That way you know you're going to get a nice steady line. Nothing worse than wonky brows. To emphasise the hairs that are already there, I'm just using a clear brow gel. Brush them up at the front and then just at an angle towards the ends. Now I'm going to be showing you where your contour and highlights need to go. Now obviously you don't need to do a crosshatch like I've done. This is for the purpose of the photo shoot, but it is a good idea so that you can see where your dark shades need to go and where your highlights need to go. I'm using concealers from Inglot. I like them because they're really creamy, they blend brilliantly, but you can use any cream, concealer or even darker foundations, which I've used in other tutorials. You can see the brows a bit better here. If for any reason you're going to be recreating this look for a photo shoot, then I'm just using a lip brush to do these stroke marks. Again, use your other hand to steady yourself, or again use your little finger to counterbalance your hand. As you can see, I'm taking the brown above the temples, so it's the corner of the forehead, also down at the bridge of the nose, and I'm also taking it down the cheekbones. You can find your cheekbones by using your fingers to press into your cheeks, and you can feel where that dip is. I'm applying a little bit of this brown either side of the chin, just along the jawline. So as you can see from the front, this is roughly what it should look like. Again, you don't have to do crosshatch. So to highlight, you want to take a shade that's maybe 2 shades lighter than your normal foundation. I like to apply it just underneath where I applied it at the temples because it opens the forehead up just that little bit further across. You also want to apply the highlight just above the bridge of the nose. Again, it opens the forehead up by highlighting just between the brows and up a little bit. The brown colour down the sides of the nose is going to give a slimming effect, and by highlighting down the centre, it gives it more dimension. The brown shade to the cheekbone is going to suck it in, and the lighter shade at the top is going to make that part of your cheekbone more prominent, giving you a more oval look to your face. So that is where to place your highlight and your shading. The next video is going to carry on from this, and it will show you how to blend your contour in, ready for the next look.